Today we're going back to basics, back to simple, back to doodling, and of course back to gold. So I'm going to be very honest with you today and tell you that it's been very difficult for me to figure out what to present to you every week. Even when I decide beforehand what I'm going to paint, I sit down at my desk and I'm no longer feeling the theme or the technique or the approach or there's always something that kind of renders me inactive, so to speak. And obviously I don't like feeling this way. And I needed to figure things out because art is supposed to feed my soul. It's supposed to bring me joy so that I can communicate that joy back to you. It's supposed to bring me all the happies inside. But it no longer did that. So this past Tuesday, I actually scheduled an hour of my time and did some deep soul searching. And the first vision I had was of these two pieces, these two exercise sheets that I did, I want to say more than a year and a half ago. And I remember what it was like to be immersed in that simple exercise, making blobs, making patterns, making doodles, quick and easy. And these pieces led me to this one, which you're all probably familiar with it. A lot of people have liked this exercise and recreated it. And that gives me an indication that because this piece was successful, it was because I was in the right frame of mind when I was doing this. So in other words, I was at my happiest. I have another example here. Like, these are just blobs of things. And this is what brings me joy the most. So what I decided to do is look at these three sheets and figure out what it is. What is it that pleased me so much that I was enjoying the full process from start to finish. And I came up with a few keywords. So blobs of paints, that's all they are. Doodles, small vignettes, simple, and of course gold. I shouldn't even have to say it now. I should just type it on the screen. And so there it was, and I thought, okay, so I need to make more, but how do I make more without being boring? So with keeping in mind all these keywords, I'm going to show you what I did. So small, right, simple, blobs, gold, mark making, little vignettes. I tried to line them up so that they look aesthetically pleasing on the screen. I'm probably not centered, but we don't care. So these are ATC size. They're 2.5 by 3.5, and ATCs, or artist trading cards, used to be all the rage a few years ago. And even back in the olden days, way before we were all born, artists used to trade these cards that would feature their art amongst each other. And although it was a cool idea, I never really participated in that movement, if you want to call it that way. But now that I'm thinking about what pleases me and what would nourish my soul at the moment, keeping it simple, keeping it small, incorporate everything that I enjoy, I thought that the ATCs would fit the bill. There's a lot to do around this theme, and I say, let's bring back the ATCs. Because I think abstract art lends itself really well to this size. And I want to show you how this kind of thing started out as. What I decided to do, instead of working on each individual sizes, I took out a sheet and I started adding blobs of color, then adding a bit of gold, not really thinking about the composition. I even added a big blob of blush pink here, which I didn't like because it muddied all the other colors. Once I added that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm just adding a whole bunch of stuff. And I bet you that when I cut this up, it's going to look cute. And even I can add a little bit of doodling like I've done here. Look how cute this is. I want to show you one that I'm very proud of, and this one I worked on its own. So this was born out of a full sheet. This was born on its own. Look how fun it is. Now, the cool thing about this is that there are also some supplies that you can buy to feature your artist trading cards. For instance, this pack I bought, I don't know how many years ago. It's a Strathmore product, and it's especially made to frame your ATCs. It has a slit here, right around the spine, so you can slide your card in, and it's actually a greeting card. How cool is that? So imagine any of these pieces, even something as simple as this, framed in that, would look spectacular. I love this. So what I did when I prepared this, I actually filmed the process because I want to show you how simple this was and how satisfying it was, especially the part where I added the gold. So we're going to watch that together. What I'm going to do in the meantime is cut this piece apart and show you what it will look like. hope you've enjoyed this little demo. And here's the card in the frame card, an ATC frame card. I really like this, I guess if you want to call it a vehicle, to trade your cards if that's something that you're interested in. But I look at it more from a greetings card perspective, or even a small gift to give, or even like a birthday card. You can write a nice little message inside. I want to show you these two pieces that I did while you were watching the video. I'm not crazy about how I handled them, and I think it's because there's less white space than all of the other ones that I've done. And I am a big fan of white space. So this is a bit too busy for me. It's either I like super, super busy, but a lot of contrast and always a focal point, or a lot of white space and more of a quiet sort of theme to everything. So I always have been a person who goes to extremes. So it's all or nothing with me. So I find it quite interesting to see that confirmed into my art as well. But I bet you if I were to put one of these, let's put this one here in a frame and look at it from a different perspective. I kind of have to pry it a little bit open, but well, that's interesting now, isn't it? I think the white border does a lot for it, but I'm kind of liking it more and more. Cool. And then you can also, well, the camera will be able to show you, but you can display it like this. Huh. Oh, really nice. I think out of all of these, I have a frame. This one might be my favorite, but I also like this one, which I just doodled the branches on. I think it's rather simple. Let's put that one in a frame, because why not? Oh, that is cute. I really like that. It's simple, but it makes a nice statement with all this white border around it. So I'm kind of liking these. Maybe I'll reorder those. Again, these are the Strathmore frame cards. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's going to give you the impetus to find what it is in your art that you enjoy doing the most, because at the end of the day, your art should be your happy place, and it should be one of comfort and not stress. I know coming from my perspective, it's a little bit different because I do make a living out of presenting videos to you, so it's also my business. But if you're doing art as a hobby, especially if you're doing that for comfort and for a feel-good, from a feel-good perspective, make sure that you're enjoying it. If you have to hold your breath while you're working, that's a good indication that you're doing something you're not enjoying or that stresses you out. So maybe change your mindset around how you approach your art, and I'm sure that you will feel better in the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons who support my art over at Patreon. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please stay safe, healthy, and creative, and I will see you soon.